Or stupid water still preventing us from getting that chest over there. We now actually have a way to get rid of these giant rocks. Both this rock over here and the one at Romani Range. Let's go check out what that is. You may remember there is another cave right over here. It was frozen the first time we saw it. And now it is unfrozen. To be honest, you could have thought it out earlier, of course. Hot spring water and fire arrows would have worked. But now we can actually use it, so it's better to check this place out now. The powder keg shop, as you may remember. And we are in dire need of bigger explosives. I am the Goron who sells powder kegs, the most famous product of the Gorons. Want a powder keg? Powder kegs explode with powerful blasts and are very dangerous. Until I have tested you to see if you can use them properly, I can't let you use any of them on your own. Ah. Will you give it a try? Sure. If you can destroy the boulder that blocks the entrance to the Goron Racetrack near here, using the powder keg I'm about to give you, then I'll give you my approval to carry them. How convenient! When the powder keg begins ticking faster, it means that it's about to explode. Try to blow up the boulder blocking the Goron Racetrack entrance without the powder keg exploding on the way. There's a sign near the racetrack, so keep an eye out for it. When you've finished, come and see me. I don't need any signs, I know where it is, I just came from there. But anyway, we first need to do an exam, as you can see. We are not just allowed to buy powder kegs normally. First we need to prove that we are able to handle them. In this case, by carrying one from here all the way to the Goron Racetrack before this way too long fuse actually runs out. Emphasis on the way too long. Because trust me, you have more than enough time. You don't have to panic, thinking, oh, there's a very big bomb on top of us, we need to get there fast. No, you get plenty of time here. When I'm going to arrive there, you will see it is going to take a while before this thing actually blows up. See, we're already here. This is already the screen. You just need to climb the steps. Pretty much the only challenge here. How to get this powder keg up the steps. The same way we got it up from the shop. Also still pretty easy. Just throw it up there and then roll up yourself. Because obviously you can't carry the powder keg when you're rolling, so we need to throw it up first. Just 3 steps. See, we're here already. Hi kid. Come on, I don't want to talk to you. You know what? I'll just blow you up. You deserve it. I think I can just leave it here. The explosion is going to be big enough that it still blows up the rock, I'm pretty sure, but let's not take any chances. Let's just put it down here to be absolutely sure that the explosion is going to take out this rock and hopefully even this crow. Okay, the ticking becomes faster now. The final warning that it's about to blow up. Ow. Way to go, Darmy. That was cool. Come on, if we don't hurry, the race will start. Come on, hurry. We passed the exam. Victory. Come on, let's go tell that big Goron. No, I want to race. I didn't blow this thing up for nothing. I'll go back to that Goron later. Let's go in here first. The Goron Racetrack. One of the most awesome places to be here in the mountains. We're finally able to race. Looks like these are contenders. Darmony, are you entering after all? I guess I'll be last again. Yeah, I also think you're going to be last. In order to initiate the race, we need to talk to this guy over here. Ah, Darmy, I've been waiting for you. See, everyone's restless cause they can't wait to enter. You're going to enter, aren't you? You're gonna enter, aren't you? Yep. You have to. I want to show everyone how Darmy races. If your magic power runs low, charge it up with the green jars on the course. Okay, let's go racing. Of course, with this Goron Rolling mechanic, how can they not also put a race in this game? Let's go. As long as you don't go over the finish line before the word go starts, you can actually initiate your roll a little bit sooner, as you can see. Get a little bit of a head start. Okay, and as the kid said, there are green jars along the way, and it's a good thing, because even with our double magic, running out of magic while rolling for this long, yeah, that can also happen. But usually whenever you get knocked out of your rolling that early, you still have a chance to catch up with them. The race is with rubber banding, so you should not give up too soon. Usually whenever I try this, I get knocked out of my roll multiple times by the other Gorons, and I usually still end up winning, so don't give up too soon. Ah, come on. The biggest downside of getting knocked out of your spike roll is the moment you are out of that, you are vulnerable to the other racers. If they then hit you, you will actually get knocked down. When you're in spike roll, you will simply bounce off the other Gorons. Okay, rubber banding can be a downside if you're ahead of them. Okay, I'm not too sure if I actually won that. That was great. I knew you were the fastest Goron army. Oh, apparently I still won. That other guy was pretty close by me. I was sure you'd get first place. This is from Daddy. It's the prize. And you got a bottle of gold dust. This is the finest quality available. And more importantly, it actually gives us another empty bottle. You won the Goron race and got an empty bottle filled with gold dust. I want to be just like you. Quick. And you better start speedrunning, kid. But anyway, that's the only prize you can get from this. Get first place here to win some gold dust. A very mysterious substance for now, since we have no idea what it actually is for. Well, that is something we can remedy quite soon. But before we do, it's actually time to get back to that big Goron. Oh, and at the same time I can also show off this grotto. It was frozen when it was still winter, so I didn't go in here yet. There's nothing in here, just a little hot spring source, as you can see. If you want some hot spring water, this is also a place where you can get some. Okay, that grotto also out of the way. Let's get back to business. Returning to Big Goron in order to receive our official powder keg license. And yes, you have to do this. It is required for the main quest as well. So don't start skipping out on this. Just blowing up that rock near the racetrack is not enough to receive your powder kegs. You have to talk to this guy again. Only then it will count. It looks like you managed to succeed. Knowing your skills, I feel fine letting you handle powder kegs on your own. It was bad of me to put you through such a dangerous test. I want you to take this as my apology. You got a powder keg. Only Gorons are permitted to handle such a powerful explosive. Use it with the item buttons. Powder kegs are very volatile, so you can only carry one at a time. If you shoot them with an arrow, they'll explode as soon as they're hit, so be careful. Oh, it's good to know. You can actually set them off sooner by shooting them with an arrow. But anyway, we get our official powder keg license. We are now a certified powder keg handler. And this is important to know. Because, as you may remember, there's another big rock that we have seen throughout this game. Namely, the one at Romani Ranch. Blocking Romani Ranch in the first 2 days. Now that we have the ability to use powder kegs, we can actually check that place out as well. However, we'll be doing that in the next cycle. Because there's one other thing that needs to be taken care of first, before we return back in time. Let's return to Snowhead, because there's still a couple of fairies that we need to deliver. While we wait until our sword is done. Because as you may remember, at the mountain smithy we left our sword. It's going to be done at the dawn of the second day, which is fastly approaching. Oh, it's you. It's the big Goron that was actually blocking our pathway to Snowhead. Let's see what your deal is. Darmony, what in the world have I been doing this whole time? I can't remember a thing since I went out to look around Snowhead to figure out why spring wasn't coming. What am I doing sitting in a place like this? Okay, it seems this big Goron actually also tried to lift the curse at Snowhead. But apparently he also failed. In fact, he even got hypnotized in order to keep other passengers out of this temple. By creating that quote-unquote blizzard. While being invisible. But anyway, that is his story apparently. But now we are only interested in the story of the Great Fairy. The Fairy of the Mountains. So it's finally time to receive the reward that you normally get in the swamp in the Nintendo 64 version. In this version you get it here. Oh, strong young one, I am the Great Fairy of Power. Thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. As thanks, I grant you prowess with this new sword technique. Well, there's nothing new about it. In Ocarina of Time you get it automatically if you received your magic meter. In this game, it's actually a loose technique. But here, we receive... Originally gotten in the swamp. You mastered the spin attack. Press and hold B to power up your weapon with magic. When you release the B button, your sword will unleash a whirlwind of energy as you spin around. To stir up energy quickly without having to charge a weapon, rotate the control stick once and press B. Okay, here goes Great Fairy of the Mountains. The least interesting of all the rewards, but we still need to do it. We restored the Great Fairy of Power. And we need to come back to her if we're overcome by weariness. These Great Fairies in all these games always have the same dialogues. Not just in this game. Okay, now we finally have the ability to use the spin attack. Nothing new about that. In Ocarina of Time it was a pretty normal thing. So, let's move on. There is still one more quest we have ongoing. And that is our sword. Let's return to the mountain village. There's nothing more I can really think of doing here in this 5th cycle. So before we close this off, it is time to finish our Stronger Sword side quest. Okay, daytime has not quite arrived yet, so looks like I need to do it myself. It's only a couple of minutes, we're skipping, but still. This is still faster than waiting. Dawn of the 2nd day. 48 hours remain. But more importantly, our sword is going to be done. Let's go in. And let's go see what they made out of our trusty little sword. Okay, I'm back. Mr. Deku Stick. I kept you waiting, but it's done. See? Your Kokiri Sword has been strengthened into a razor sword. This new sharper blade is a cut above the rest. Use it up to 100 times without dulling its superior edge. A sharper sword. Step 1. Step 1. Your sword was sharpened. Now, keep in mind that after you've used this sword 100 times, the blade will lose its edge and return to its original sharpness. But I'll let you in on a little secret. If you value a strong blade, bring me some gold dust before that sword loses its edge. Gold dust? You do that and I'll be able to forge you the strongest of swords. Even better, the blade will never lose its edge. Ever. Not even a little. You get all that? Gold dust. Bring me some. Good things will happen. Think on it. Ugo, 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 Ugo! Shut up, you stupid stick. But anyway, that gold dust we just won in the Goron race. This little stuff over here. Yep, there is a use for it. In the very same cycle we earned it. And these guys can make an even stronger sword with it. So, let's do that. Oh, a customer. Gabora, fetch your customer some coffee, quick like. Now then, let me take a look at that sword. Hey, now that's a mean joke. Your sword has already been sharpened into a razor sword. Unless... Do you want me to make it even stronger? To do that, I'll need gold dust. Do you have any? Yeah, why do you think I'm here? Wouldn't have talked to you if I didn't. Here you go, sir. Premium quality gold dust. Why, if it isn't gold dust? And it's even top quality. Why, even if I use it to reforge your sword, there will still be some left. Alright, just for you, I'll do this for free, but don't tell anyone. Thanks for dropping in. Now then, I'm straight off to work. Come back tomorrow morning. Oogo, oogo, oogo. Yeah, now you're beginning to understand why I wanted it to be the first day after I completed the dungeon. In order to fully charge your sword into the strongest one possible, sharpening it twice, you actually need all 3 days, since he needs 1 day to create the razor sword and another day to create the next one after that. So, let's immediately move to that final day. Because there's nothing else we can do, so let's immediately move on. The dawn of the final day. The level 3 sword will be gotten quite quickly. Dawn of the final day. 24 hours remain. Okay, here we are. Why are some of these steps jumps? Here, the moment I go over this staircase slowly, sometimes you actually jump up the steps. That's really weird. I managed to break the game's mechanics, I think. Okay, let's jump our way up the staircase. And into the house to receive our ultimate sword. I kept you waiting, but it's done. See? Your razor sword has been strengthened. It is now the Gilded Sword. Newly forged, your sword is better than ever and will never break. Because yes, that other sword, the razor sword, that will break if you start using it. This one does not. And it's the ultimate thing we can get. The Gilded Sword. There it is. We can't make a sword stronger than that. No matter how many times you use it, it'll never lose its edge. Try it. Oh, and I used up most of the gold dust. Just a tiny bit was left, so I got rid of it for you. Oogo, oh! Oogo, oogo, oogo! I'm going to miss saying oogo. But anyway, we have our ultimate sword, finally. As you can see, it's longer than our old sword. Twice as strong. And unlike the razor sword, we can use it as many times as we want. It will never lose its edge, and therefore having to reforge it again. Unfortunately, there are no enemies to test it out, so... But we'll see them later. This poor crate. However, we do have a new technique, right? That we just got from the Great Fairy. But no way to actually use it since we didn't have a sword. Now we do. This used to be our spin attack. Charging it up into a blue glow and then create a small magic circle. But with our new spin attack we can actually charge it up into the red and create a very powerful whirlwind. But like the fairy said, we don't have to charge it up. We can also rotate our control stick and then press B to perform the technique like that. Nothing special, but still, it is what we got. Okay, that's pretty much everything we can do here. Everything else that's unlocked by this point. Completing the dungeon, receiving the fire arrows, and more importantly, receiving the license to use a powder keg. It unlocks plenty of things in the overworld, but we'll be tackling that in the next cycle. We do not plan on doing anything too important here in the final day, so let's just get ourselves a couple of rupees that we can still find in here. But it is an invisible chest, so let's do it like this then. There you are. Apparently you are hard to find. Okay, it's not a whole lot of rupees I have still lying around, but I can still use them to input in the bank. Still the final reward to get from that. It's going to take a very long time in order to save up enough money for that, so... Okay, Clock Town it is. Like always, we will finish off a cycle by putting the money in the bank we still have left. Only 60 rupees this time around, but still, every little bit helps. It is going to break 1000 rupees now. This is not the reward we were after, but still, we get a blue rupee. That's what they call interest. Well, it's more interest that I'm receiving from my bank, but still, I'd like to get these 5 rupees out of my wallet as well. Okay, people, this has been another cycle. The second dungeon, and therefore the second region, is complete. And now, with the ability to use powder kegs, a lot has opened in the overworld. Now that we can finally blow up the rock at Romani Ranch, the 6th cycle is going to be by far the longest one so far, trust me. Whenever I reach this point in the game, a lot of stuff needs to be done in one cycle. At least I'd like to do that. So, I thank you all for watching yet another cycle. This has been a rather short one, but that will be remedied next time, when the longest cycle I have planned will begin. See you in the ocean. Treecks out.